Stimulants. Let's talk about more stimulants. I've talked about so many now. I've talked about Beetle and Cola and Coca and what was that other one? Chai. There are a lot of ways that people get perked up, and this is another one that I feel now that I've talked about so many different ways to get energized, I should probably talk about this one as well. Yerba mate. If you are from South America, I am not talking about anything interesting for you, but in other parts of the world, this is not an easy thing to find. I have never had yerba mate. Well, I've had like little blended like iced tea in a can drinks that had yerba mate in it, but I've never had it properly. So this is interesting for me, and this I'm doing because I was inspired by the viewer Jason, because Jason sent me a big box full of stuff in the mail, including yerba mate leaves. Jason, thank you. Thank you for sending me these leaves. I am going to attempt to make a drink out of the leaves that were sent to me by Jason, but it's the sort of thing that can't go away. No. These are poisonous to cats, and my cat is currently attacking these leaves, trying to bite them. Don't eat poison. Okay? Okay. There is some danger involved with the fresh yerba mate, because this is a holly. Yes, the same holly that is around at Christmas time. And a lot of the different holly species are actually edible, as well, they're not edible, but you can make a tea out of them, and they have been historically used to make a tea, but not all of them, and if you do it wrong, it'll make you barf. So I am highly cautious of doing this. Some hollies do have caffeine, some do not. Yerba mate obviously does. It also has theobromine in it, like chocolate. It is stronger in caffeine than tea leaves, but it is not as strong in caffeine as coffee. Yerba mate plants do have little berries. They do have little fruits. However, those fruits are not edible for humans. There are, I believe, a couple hollies that have a fruit that some people have eaten in different preparations, but is highly questionable. There is a really great write-up about hollies on the website Eat the Weeds. If you're interested in trying foraged holly leaves, I would recommend that article. But the berries, according to that article, are not edible unless you are a bird. So if you're a bird, go nuts. If you're not a bird, you will definitely want to pass on those berries because they're gonna make you sick. The leaves also will make you sick if they are not prepared properly, and how I've heard you're supposed to do this is you take the leaves, you air dry them, then you slow roast them, and then you can brew them like a tea. So I took these leaves, I cleaned them, I just kind of rinsed them with water and patted them dry, so now they're dry again. I put them on this cookie sheet, spread them out, and I'm going to put them in the oven on the bottom rung at 400 degrees. I'm not sure how long it's going to take with this amount of leaves at this heat, so what I'm going to do is just like every minute I'm just going to kind of toss it until it looks like they are like a little bit golden. You can either cook it on like a low heat, so it's going to be more like a green tea, or you can roast them like I'm doing at a high heat, and that will give it more of like a coffee-like flavor. Now, unfortunately, this will not be a That's Not Coffee episode. I'm sorry, you gotta put your foam fingers down. I know you're waiting to use them. It's starting to smell like dried fruit and marijuana in my apartment right now. Hopefully I'm not gonna get in trouble with my landlord. It's looking pretty roasty, so yeah, and now they break apart. So I think these are done. So yeah, and if you want to do this yourself, like how I did, do some more research, because I don't really know what I'm doing, just so you know. Looks similar. This is a little bit more green though. This one has a little bit of roastiness to it. So my guess is for this one, they probably like cured it, but I don't think that they like actually like legit roasted it. So this is probably going to have quite a different flavor than this one here. And one thing I saw online is that if you like to have your mate roastier, you can actually take this and put it in the oven and roast it for a while until it starts to turn like a golden color. You can brew mate in a variety of different ways. You can even get like little tea bags of it. Now the traditional way to do it is to put it inside a little gourd and you drink it through a slotted straw with like a little strainer at the bottom. Don't have one of those. Another way you can do it is to brew it more like a tea with one of these. I'm going to take some of the store-bought mate and put it inside the tea ball. Then my own that I made is going to go into a French press, which is another way to do it. Just so you can see what the store-bought one looks like. You can see it's got like a lighter color to it. I'll start with the store-bought one. It smells like tea, but a little bit sweeter. This tastes a little bit like how a cigarette smells. It has like a malty, sweet, smoky aspect to it, along with flavors of like white tea and caramel and dried apricot. A lot of little notes in there. There's like a little bit of an herbal taste to it too, like maybe like a touch of pine. That's good. I like it. Next, my own brew. Ooh, it's got a much stronger smell to it. And that smell is like a stronger fruit smell. It's good. It's very different though. Some people say that mate, like especially when it's roasted, is a little bit like coffee. This is not like coffee. It is like tea, and it is roastier, but it is not coffee. But basically this has the flavors of the store-bought one, only everything is stronger, there's more body to it, it's more robust. There's like, when it hits your taste buds, it kind of punches them a little harder. It's just got an overall like increase in just about like all the elements of it. It does have a slight bitterness to it that the store-bought one does not have. It's like the difference of having like apple juice and apple cider. It's like the difference of having like grape juice and wine. Like this has got definitely like a more of a complex taste to it, more maturity to it. To me, this has been an interesting thing to try. I mean, coca is very popular in Bolivia. Chat is very popular in Ethiopia. Beetle is very popular in certain areas. Those are used like pure stimulant. This is enjoyed like people drink coffee and tea. It is something that people sit around and they consume for pleasure, not just to get like a pump of energy. There are a lot of different beverages out there in the world besides coffee and tea and hot chocolate. But in the US, that's all we really kind of think of when we think of a hot drink. But mate is out there. It is something that is unique and it is pretty tasty. So it's cool to get a chance to try something like this and get to see the leaves. So thanks again, Jason, for sending me those leaves, and thank you everyone for watching. Hey, before you click out, I want to give a very special thank you to AltPod, Smarter Every Day, and the Harbor Leaf Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon.com, if you haven't heard of it, it is how this channel happens. It's how I get all the funding to go on the trips I go on and how I get all the fruit that I try. So if you're interested in supporting my channel, check out the link in the description below. Another thing is that I have t-shirts for sale. Those are also available in the description below as well. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.